Eastern calendar now, it's the middle of April, which is not a favorite time for most of us because this is tax time. But in the biblical Hebrew calendar, we're in a special period of the year. The days between the Feast of Passover and the Feast of Shavuot, which is also called Pentecost. And this time is known as the days of the Omer, or the counting of the Omer, from the day of Passover, the first day of the morning after the first fruit, which comes. Then every day they count, it's the harvest, they count the sheaves every day until you reach 50 with the time of Pentecost. But there's another realm to these days, and that is on the calendar of redemption. These are also the days of the Exodus, beginning with Passover and reaching a culmination on Mount Sinai. Now, Passover, the Feast of Passover, is the beginning of the Exodus. Shavuot, the next feast, or Pentecost, corresponds with Mount Sinai, when the law was given on Mount Sinai. And so this is the time of the journeying out of Egypt, leaving the old world, and heading to what God had for them. Now, Messiah died on Passover as the Lamb to give us the power of Passover, salvation and the power of Passover. And one of the most critical powers of Passover in Messiah is the power of Exodus, or exiting, leaving, departing, breaking through, breakthrough. One of the most important powers in your life. And tonight we're going to look at the keys of leaving, of exodus, of breakthrough in your life, and finding them in just one verse, and that's going to be in Psalm 37. And verse can show you how powerful the Bible is. Just one verse, and it's not a long one. And we're going to break it up and see keys for your life. Psalm 37, the first part simply says, "Depart from evil." Now, you say, well, I'm not an evildoer. Well, in order to depart from evil, you have to kind of some way be in it. The Bible says if we say we're without sin, we are liars. No matter who you are called to leave sin, no matter who you are. I remember once when there was a denomination, and I was studying, and because Beth Israel was linked to that, and they asked me questions at the board, and they said, have you have any spiritual failings? I said, well, no, except for the normal falling short. They said, well, what do you mean by that? I said, well, regular sin. They said, well, and I said, well. They said, I said, the Bible says if we say we're without sin, we're lying. They said, well, that's for unbelievers. I said, wow. I said, what is this doctrine that we don't have sin anymore? Of course we deal with sin, no matter who you are. And so you're called to to be leaving it for your life. And there's a power of departing, of leaving, that's crucial in your life. Abraham, who's the father of all the faithful, how did he fulfill his calling? By departing, by leaving, by exiting Ur and exiting Haran. And you are Abraham's children, so it is crucial for you to be leaving something. Not just once when you get born again, but every day of your life. I remember, anybody remember how being in nursery school? I remember being in nursery school, okay? A one-room schoolhouse. And I was being told they were talking about the real school. And it was like, I remember one of the kids was going early to the real school. And he was going into kindergarten. And to me back then, it was like, whoa, this is serious stuff. You're going to kindergarten. It was like you're going to the academy. You're going to the thing. I remember that. Such a big thing. But in order to go to kindergarten, you had to leave nursery school. In order to go to first grade, you had to leave kindergarten. In order to go to junior high, you had to leave elementary school, and then high school, and on and on. Our life is linked, is filled with leavings in order to grow. So in the Lord, many of his children get left back because we're not really, the only way to graduate to the next level is we have to leave something in our life. How to depart in our life. The word in Hebrew here, it says depart from evil, is the Hebrew word for depart here is the word easy. Sore. Try it. Easy. You use it in English. I feel sore. Well, that means depart in Hebrew. Sore literally means past. It's past. So there's a truth that in the cross, your sin is past, is considered past by God. In a way with God, it's considered truly finished. And the thing is that if you believe it's still active in there, you're going to keep living in it. It's like after World War II, there were Japanese soldiers who were living in caves, and they were still fighting the war years after the war was over because they didn't know it was over, it was finished.